sometimes you really got to put yourself in an environment that serves the energy that you're trying to live in and that serves the goals you're trying to achieve in your life. I'm out here in nature today, and it allows me to really dive deeper into what I actually want to do, why I'm here, and today I'm really reflecting on my why. I have spent a lot of time transforming and evolving. I think we all go through evolutions in our life, but taking the time to step back and slow down, we get into these moments of we're just pushing, and we're always hustling, and we're going, and we're working, and we're learning, we're rebuilding. But sometimes it's like you need to stop and remind yourself, why am I doing all this? Designing a life that is yours and yours alone. You're not living on someone else's terms. You're living on exactly what you want to do. You're achieving your goals that you're in right now. And knowing what those are, knowing what your pillars are. This is something that a lot of people will ask themselves, but it's like, what is it now? Stop right now and look at where are your thoughts going? What are you working towards, or what do you want? So many of us, we oftentimes just don't allow the space to even find what that is for ourselves. So I think that's what I was just like, you know what? It's time to really quiet the noise. We live in such a distracting world, and our own circles can get that way. The people in our life that may or may not be serving us. And so make sure who you're surrounded by is serving you. It's not depleting you, Everyone has bad days, so don't judge one instance necessarily, but look for patterns in your daily life. And are the people that you're associating with there for you, or are they, it's an energy. So if you trust your energy, trust your gut, it's amazing what you can find. I am pushing towards a more simple life, a quiet life, but one that I can just really step into more of my authentic self and not hide behind all these layers of, who people think I should be, or showing up not really truly authentically, or suppressing my voice. For the longest time, I feel like I've suppressed my true self and my voice. I think at a point in your life, you just finally get to the point where you're like, who am I shushing for? Who am I, and I, going back to my original point of choosing your environment, we're going to unpack that for sure. I finally just removed myself from multiple environments that I felt it was comfortable, but not in a good way. It was only because it was somewhat familiar did not mean it was correct for me. That's my real goal in life, is go into any environment and I'm still exactly who I am, no matter what environment I'm in. But that does not just happen overnight. It takes quieting the noise, quiet the praise, quiet the criticism, quiet the judgment, so that you can transform into that self where you can get to that point and enter any room, any group, any circle, your old friends, your new friends, doesn't matter, your family, and you are you. You are who you became, who you were always meant to be, who you've always been. But you're your true, authentic, evolved self. Sometimes you intentionally don't speak up, but that's your choice. You remain calm in conflict. And to me, posting these kind of videos and putting my voice out there in this way gets me one step closer to that. That's one why. That's a big why in my life. And I just really appreciate being in environments that you feel comfortable to be yourself. You feel heard, you feel seen, you know you're like in a good space. You know that. Think about the time when you entered a room or you were with like a close person or you met someone, it was just like, whoa, that was organic, that was natural, that was, wow. Like you just felt so comfortable in that space. Now think of a time when you walked into a room or an environment that you felt like you had to go into a turtle shell. Like you had to, let's just say a lot of my life, more than I realized in the moment, was spent, you know, I wasn't literally like curled up in a ball, but in a way I was. Sharing my experiences, my perspectives, it's just like honestly making up for lost time as well. Like, it's like I've had a lot to say, but I wasn't in an environment that supported or even really like was gonna hear what I had to say anyway. So I am like intentionally gonna be putting myself in environments that support my life. And sometimes that really means going and starting over and creating a whole new life and a whole new era for yourself. And we all have the freedom to do that. And I know I'm very fortunate and I'm grateful for building the life that I've built to support that kind of dramatic transition in my life where I can just completely up and, you know, reroute my life or uproot my life and start over again, but in a place that like just feels aligned. And so I think that's what that's the journey I'm on right now. And I'm really looking forward to sharing more of this story, this perspective. And I hope you do too. I hope you feel like you can find your voice if you're struggling to, you know, get your message out there or like be seen, you know. Yeah, just know that like there is a place for you in this world and you're meant to be. You're here for a reason. I'm just finally stepping into like taking ownership of that, and like I'm here for a reason. I'm not gonna waste it. I feel like I've been given gifts. I've been developing those gifts and the skills and the voice and the perspective. Like, let's not waste it. Let's put it out there. Let's share it. Let's get together, you know? I think a lot of people could use like more people that are gonna speak out and inspire, and you know, share the gifts within themselves, whatever that may be. For me, it's telling stories and sharing my unique perspectives that of the, you know, visuals that I capture. But I think there's so many ways, there's so many talents, and there's so many gifts within yourself that can be explored. If you really tap into it and dive deep enough, you'll find it. And a lot of times we already know it. We just have to go for it. So anyway, thank y'all for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll be here. So until next time.